Hello and welcome to another stream, or the first stream actually, by me, Dan. Thank you for tuning in. I'm trying this new thing out here because there's a lot going on in the wrestling world, and I'd like to talk about it. So let's dive into all of this. What is happening right now? What is going on now? And there's a lot to unpack here actually. So let's jump right into it. So first things first, WrestleMania has happened last night and on Saturday, and there was um, WrestleMania SmackDown and the Hall of Fame, of course, and NXT Stand and Deliver on Saturday. So there's a lot going on, and I would quickly like to talk about it. So let's jump right into it because there's like plenty of stuff to talk about here, and I want to go through it like as quickly as possible because like everyone seems to be going live right now, but I've wanted to do it like all the time, like since this weekend was announced and it was believed to play out like it is. I wanted to do a quick English review for everyone to just give my thoughts on everything. And yeah, it was a huge weekend, of course. And it started all with WrestleMania SmackDown, where we had a bunch of things we do not really need to talk about because they didn't do much for the entire weekend. But one of the important things we had was, of course, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which was won by Bobby Lashley, who was not on the card because of an undisclosed illness by Bray Wyatt, and which meant that WrestleMania SmackDown was about to be WrestleMania SmackDown was about to be like a whole different show than they might have planned, because like it was designed to not only sell WrestleMania but also give Bobby Lashley at least something. And it really wasn't his fault. He really worked very hard this past year, like he always does, but this past year in particular. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough. So he yes. He just decided to be sad about it, like everyone else. Like, unfortunately, it wasn't his mania. He didn't really appear much else. He made like a quick presentation on stage at WrestleMania with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy, but that's about it. So there's unfortunately not much else to talk about. But we have to talk quickly about LA Knight because it was over like Rover, and Dexter Loomis, who was like doing all sorts of crazy stuff in the match. But that was it. So there was not much to it other than of these unfortunate events for Bobby Lashley. They tried to turn it into a positive with the victory, but in the end, it was like, this is not enough for the Almighty. But other than that, on the SmackDown Go Home show, not much really happening. Like we had that main event of Drew McIntyre and Sheamus against Imperium, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci. But that's about it. So swiftly moving on to NXT Stand and Deliver, as the host of that show, Pretty Deadly, Kid Wilson and Elton Prince would tell you. Quite the event. It was really, really, really amazing. Like, I really cannot praise this event enough, because we got everything and more out of this event. It was incredible. The Hall of Fame, of course, were also emotional with Rey Mysterio right after SmackDown, but I don't want to really dive into that too much because like it's a Hall of Fame ceremony. There wasn't like a big happening other than maybe that Judgment Day walked out of Rey Mysterio's speech. Great Muta got inducted. Tim White got inducted as a Warrior recipient. Stacy Keeler got inducted, and Andy Kaufman was inducted. So that was the Hall of Fame. And at Stand and Deliver, we had a kickoff match for the first time in what felt like a very long time. The kickoff had a featured match, Chase University, which is Andre Chase, Duke Hudson, Tyler Bate, and Tia Hale against The Schism, which is the daughter of Dane Rock Johnson, Eva Rain, Joe Gacy, Rip Fowler, and Jagger Reed, the former Grizzled Young veterans, clashing in a 4-4 tag team match, which was really fun. Great way to kick this off. Like, I'm really happy for Andre Chase, especially because he came a long, long way and he absolutely earned this spot. And the crowd loved it, and we had like the tease of Duke Hudson joining the Schism, but he didn't because he still believes in Chase University, and of course they won. Then we had the first main show match, which was the NXT Women's Championship match. Roxanne Perez, it was believed that she had to vacate the title, but she was fit right in time for the event, so she defended her title against Indy Hartwell, Zoe Stark, Gigi Dolan, Lyra Valkyria, and Tiffany Stratton. And in the end, who shall emerge from the ring? Dexter Loomis to aid Indy Hartwell. Index is reunited, and Indy Hartwell is the new NXT Women's Champion. Later on that night, we had Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller, which was an emotional roller coaster, like very intense, very brutal, unsanctioned match. And we in the end, we came to the conclusion that Johnny Gargano won this match, and that Indy Hartwell, Dexter Loomis, Candice LeRae, they all were out there, and they were hugging, and the way was reunited, and everything was beautiful about that. Also on the card, the NXT Tag Team Championship match, which was the only downer. Hey Tom, how are you doing? This was the only downer on this entire card, because we had Gallus defending their championships against the Creed brothers and Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. For some reason, Gallus defended. Joe Coffey returned after a long absence and aided them in their victory. So unfortunately, Gallus are still champions. The next match was the big 5-way for the NXT North American Championship. Wesley defending against Dragon Lee, Axiom, JD McDonough, and Ilya Dragunov. This was a spectacular match. You should definitely watch it. Wesley defended here. Then the unsanctioned match happened, which I already talked about. Great work by Grayson Waller, by the way. He's incredible. Then we had the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match. Not too much heat about this, but still fine in my opinion. Kiana James, Fallon Henley defended their titles against Isla Dawn and Elba Fire. At least they tried to. But the new Wicked Witches of NXT, Fire and Isla Dawn, who are incredible together, let's be honest, they defended their championships. They won the championships from Fallon Henley and Kiana James. So quite happy with that. A real tag team really winning the titles is always a good thing. And then the main events, the two prodigies of NXT, the new NXT. On one side, the champion, Bron Breakker, and on the other side, Carmelo Hayes. These two gentlemen, like really, they are now the bar and have been the bar in NXT for quite some time. A decorated North American champion is Carmelo Hayes, and Bron Breakker has been holding on to that title for a long, long time. And then we had the title change here. Carmelo Hayes, the mellow don't miss guy, he is now the new NXT champion. Stand and Deliver. Really great show. And then moving on to night one of WrestleMania, which was described by many people as the greatest WrestleMania night of all time. I need a bit of time to process that, but it's definitely up there. If we ended here, everything would have been perfect. Quite good. We started with John Cena challenging Austin Theory for the United States Championship. Great stuff. Before we did that, actually, I need to mention we had like a really excited guy in the kickoff, like a fan who was interviewed by Byron Saxton, and he was really at it. And like that's the attitude we need for wrestling. He was really hyped up for that show. And he should be, because it was really well built. You had great stars on the show. You were ending up with some incredible matches. Not this one though. This was the standard John Cena match, like the really normal John Cena match. Austin Theory won with a low blow while the referee was distracted. Don't know if I would have done that, but John Cena was on the card. We got the dream match. It was great. And of course, Cena didn't win, so that's always a good thing. Then we got the Mania Tag Team Showcase match. Pointless match in the beginning, but at the end, it wasn't that pointless because everyone of these 6 gentlemen were able to, not 6, 8 gentlemen were able to do incredible stuff. Everyone loved this match. We got the Street Profits of Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford against Braun Strowman and Ricochet against the Alpha Academy, which is Chad Gable and Otis. And they were taking on Eric and Ivar of the Viking Raiders. And that was like all killer, no filler, mega match. Like incredible. Street Profits won in the end, but this was so much awesome stuff, so many great spots. I can't name them all here, but one in particular was Andrew Dawkins just charging up and bullying and pushing Braun Strowman out of the way when he was steaming up for his ring around stuff that he always does, and he was like pushed to the side by Angelo Dawkins. Crowd was extremely loud for this match from A to Z. So incredible stuff. Seth Rollins, he wrestled Logan Paul, and the match was great. A guy, I don't know, big YouTube star in America, KSI. He was in like a soft drink that Logan Paul is selling. I don't know too much about it, but Seth Rollins won, so it's all good. So that was a great match. You cannot deny that. Incredible entrance also by Logan Paul. So he's a natural at this. It's awesome. 6-woman tag was the next match. The 2 legends, Lita and Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch. And of course, Becky Lynch and Lita, also the current women's tag team champions, were taking on Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Fine match. The babyfaces won again. Like we've already seen this result before, but they wanted a big WrestleMania match, and Trish Stratus wasn't really involved before. So there you go. That's your 6-woman tag team match. Then, great entrances, great spectacular drama. The Mysterios implode. Dominic Mysterio of Judgment Day versus the new Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, father versus son at WrestleMania. Great match with great highlights, and you got the entrances like Rey Mysterio with the Eddie Guerrero and Snoop Dogg entrance, and Dominic Mysterio with the prison entrance. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. So I loved it. I loved it so much. Don't know if Rey really had to win here. He seems to like winding down his career now with the Hall of Fame and stuff. But Dominic, he was great here. So loved the match. Really loved the match. Then we move on to the best match of the entire weekend. Rhea Ripley trying to take the title, the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship of Charlotte Flair. And she did in spectacular fashion. Like, this was the greatest match, the greatest women's match I've seen ever, I believe. It was absolutely intense. It got all elevated, Riptide to win the match. Absolutely perfect. I watched it again on Sunday morning. It was absolutely brilliant. And then we had a singles match. The Miz impromptu match against Pat McAfee, which he lost. I don't know. That was like a little filler. Then we got 1 million sponsorship ads. It's like the entire weekend was full of sponsors and commercials. And of course, you need to earn money, but this was like one too much for me, at least. And we ended for the first time ever with a tag team championship, the undisputed WWE tag team championship on the line. The Usos defending against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the culmination of the big bloodline storyline, at least for this night. The Usos have been champion for, I don't know, hundreds of days. I believe it was like 600, I don't know. And they lost the championship. Nothing worked against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They were always coming out on top, kicking out of 2. Incredible stuff. Incredible match, incredible storyline, right winners, all around perfect. This night 1 ended on a happy story. And then we want straight go into night 2 of WrestleMania 39. We kicked off with Omos versus Brock Lesnar, which, like, before this event, everyone thought this will be like the biggest stinker match. It wasn't really, but it wasn't also the greatest match ever. So it was Brock Lesnar fighting against almost really landing in some good strikes, and then Brock Lesnar coming out on top. Fine if you're into that stuff. Then we had the women's showcase match, which was Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler against Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan. Then the team of Natalya, Shotzi, and Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville building the last tag team here. They wanted to have these women on the card. There aren't really tag teams in WWE right now. Ronda obviously was not cleared to compete or not cleared to do a lot of moves or take any bumps. So she only came in like at the very end and did her submission on, I believe it was Shotzi, and won. So there was nothing to this match. But they got the two weakest matches out of the way first, which is fine. Like, you build the card from weak to strong. So, because after that, we got the second greatest match of the entire weekend. Gunther, der Ringgeneral, defending his championship, this Intercontinental Championship, against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match. And it was the greatest match. Like, standing ovations all around, crowd commentary. Everyone loved it. Michael Cole had his best night ever. It seems like 20 years with the company, 20 plus years with the company. And he loved this, and I loved this, and everyone loved this. Gunther, or Water as he was before, he came such a long way from Germany, from WXW, all the way here to a primary match at WrestleMania Night 2. Incredible stuff. He really ruled. Sheamus ruled. Drew McIntyre ruled. Like, this is the top wrestling stuff I want to see. And if you really don't have too much time, go watch the SmackDown Women's Championship match, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair from night 1, and then go and watch the Intercontinental Championship match from night 2, because incredible stuff. After that, match wasn't too bad. Bianca Belair versus Asuka. I don't want to go into the most emotional stuff. Watch the Triple H press conference for that, because there was some emotional stuff around this. But in the end, Bianca Belair defeated Asuka. I personally wanted Asuka to win because she's incredible, and Bianca's reign has now been lasting for 1 year. So I don't know what's coming next for Bianca, really. But other than the result, great, good match. Then we had another impromptu match. The Miz was challenged by the returning Shane McMahon. For some reason, Shane McMahon is back. But Shane McMahon did injure himself. Get well soon, Shane. Like 1 minute into this impromptu match, like he tore his quad. It was like pretty awful. So they called an audible. The referee, Jessica Carr, told Snoop Dogg to hit a people's arrow. So Snoop Dogg did and beat The Miz. Maybe I should have mentioned that The Miz and Snoop Dogg were the hosts of WrestleMania, but only The Miz was announced and Snoop Dogg came in on night 1. And he also accompanied Rey Mysterio in his entrance. It was interesting, to say the least. But then we had the Hell in a Cell match, the final ending point between Edge and Finn Balor, the leader of the Judgment Day. Like, this story has been going on for over a year. Finally, Edge was able to put away Finn Balor. Great match. But in the whole big landscape of WrestleMania matches, maybe it was only sticking out because there was a sale around it. I don't know. And hopefully this is now over and we can move on for both Finn and Edge. Sucks a little bit for the Judgment Day because they have been incredible, and Rhea Ripley was the only Judgment Day member that really won on the weekend, because Dominic lost his match, Edge lost his match, and Edge and Rey are legend, and they didn't put over the younger talents. So I don't know about that. But at least it's now over and we can move on. And then we had the finish the story, the big main event. Roman Reigns, 800 plus days as the undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight champion of the world, against the returning prodigal son, Cody Rhodes. And after really a spectacular match, and you had the Usos and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman, everyone involved, all of this stuff, Cody lost. I'm just jumping straight to it. Cody Rhodes lost his match. He didn't finish the story. I don't know what is going on here. I'm really upset about this. It's always with the roads. It's always the same. The story is perfect. Everything is pointing to the right, perfect ending point, which is Cody finally being the one to the throne. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, who has been doing incredible, unparalleled work here. And then Cody loses. Solis Secor striked him when the referee wasn't looking with the Samoan spike. Rest in peace, Umaga. And then Roman lost. Yeah, Roman unfortunately didn't lose. Cody lost. And that's I don't know what's coming. There was a press conference after this, of course, where Triple H said, "We don't finish stories. This was only the end of the chapter, and the next chapter starts, of course, tonight on Monday Night Raw." I don't know. Like, it was an incredible weekend. Really, really great stuff. Loved it so much. But the ending to all of it, big bummer. Overall, the show was really good. Like, there were a few stinkers, like the women's showcase match and whatever Shane McMahon did here. Unfortunately, he got injured. And you also had a lot of commercials, sponsorships, like big long trailers, big long breaks between the matches. You had, for example, the Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio match. Incredible stuff, like I said, but it was also sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So it was all over the match. Like, there was like a big mascot and the name graphic, and it was supposed to be this emotional contest. And then there was all of this branding on top of it. So it was a bit crazy. But that was WrestleMania. I watched it again. It was great fun, but the ending, really, really upsetting. But before I leave here, because we talked about all of this, and I don't want to waste too much of your time, I really want to quickly talk about what's also coming up, because WWE is not going to be their own company anymore. The sale has been gone through. Endeavor has purchased WWE, and they will merge with the Unlimited Fighting. Oh God, I should have really researched it. Come on. UFC, you know what I mean? Ultimate Fighting Championship. God damn it, Paul. Vince McMahon will remain, as we know. He will remain like the CEO of WWE, while Dana White will remain the CEO of UFC. No, I'm talking nonsense here. I'm sorry. So, quickly run down the business stuff. This is a $2.4 billion deal, and the CEO of Endeavor is Ariel Emanuel, and Vince McMahon will remain on the team as reported by CNBC and Endeavor themselves. And it's, as Vince McMahon came back to WWE in the fashion he did, he wanted to sell the company, and he was successful in doing so. The presidents of WWE and UFC will remain. Nick Khan will be the president of WWE, and Dana White will be the president of UFC. While in the next stop for Endeavor, will have Vince McMahon, and let me see if I can get his name also. There will also be a role for someone on the same level. There we go. Chief Executive Officer of Endeavor, Mr. McMahon, and that's its role. And Mark Shapiro, he will be the Chief Operating Officer of USC. That's the information. And there will be a WB Board of Directors with 11 members. Okay, the board of directors will be 6 members of Endeavor and 5 of WWE. So if you want to, I will just direct you to WrestleTalk.com here. You got the article written by the great Liam Winnard. Endeavor purchases WWE, will merge with UFC to get all the information. So the future is different for the company, and things will change. And if you want to have more coverage on all of this, I just noticed that my good friends of WrestleTalk are live right now, so check out WrestleTalk. They are live streaming right now, Ollie Davis and Laurie Blake. Check them out. Thank you for watching. Of course, when I start a stream, stuff like this starts happening. That's why I rushed to the card. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to do this week quick. Goodbye.